Hello, Mount Rodmore here, aka Nick. Back to talk about BB26. I did my last stream on Saturday. We hadn't yet even gotten the players for the veto competition, and that was just the first of many things to happen over the last 2 days. This season, just when I thought it was getting boring, it went into overdrive. Like, it went from very little happening to possibly too much happening. So let's get into it. First of all, I want to start by talking about last night's episode, the HOH episode. We already knew who won, but we got to see the competition for the first time. And as the rumors had suggested, it was the balance beam competition in Ainsley Land. It was basically Candyland, but it was the balance beam, but with a little bit of a twist. In fact, a lot of bit of a twist. Instead of just trying to get from point A to point B in the fastest time, you have to hit buttons that are worth points. And whoever gets the most points in 45 seconds wins. And if you fall off, you get reset. So, you know, it was an interesting twist on the challenge, but to be honest, I kind of just like the balance beam as it is. So I didn't really need anything fancy. But this is what the competition was. And like I said, instead of a fastest time, we gotta see who gets the best score. Starts off with T Core. She sets the time, and Quinn beats her by double. I believe Quinn got 18, and I believe she got 9. And then we just get a montage of people failing, and Rabina being very proud of her 1 point. Like, that's the spirit. Mackenzie takes the lead, but falls with 21 points on the board. So she gets reset. She can't get her score back in time. So, that was a little bit of a rough one for her. Not so much for me, because I didn't particularly want her to win all that much. Cedric comes up and he gets 27, which was pretty impressive. Then Kenny goes and he gets 21. I gotta say, I did not think, like, I had heard rumors that Kenny had possibly done well in this competition, but I wasn't really sure they were true. But yeah, Kenny got 21 points. So, yeah. And then last up is Leah, who just basically falls, and it's nothing. So Cedric wins, as we all know. Then we get another montage of Cedric trying and failing to get volunteers to go up. And that was pretty enjoyable. And I'm just like, dude, you got to be a little more forceful about it. You're the HOH. Sometimes you just got to do it and live with the consequences. Then we get a whole segment about Leah and her various flirtations, and really just the general romance adjacent vibes going through the house, including Tucker and the fish. I guarantee they caught that image of Tucker going at the fish and they told Chelsea to say it. I guarantee that's how that happened. Also, one thing that I was wrong about, I didn't think Kenny knew about Mackenzie's power, even though, I thought they were kind of close because they had a mutual ally in Matt. But the episode confirmed that Kenny did know about it. So, yeah, got that one wrong. And, the episode goes as we knew it did. Tucker finally volunteers. Angela and Kenny had already thrown in the towel. I did like that they actually showed Kenny saying he wants to go home. So, but thanks for that. And that's pretty much the gist of the episode. Now, on to the live feeds. Gotta make sure I don't dry my throat out talking about all this nonsense too fast. First of all, Mackenzie and Leah are picked for the veto, and Cedric is not happy about those picks, and I can see why. They're both kind of a they're they're a duo firmly at this point, and they haven't really been on Cedric's side this whole time. Kenny says that his best case scenario is Angela gets saved by the veto, Tucker wins the AI arena, and he gets voted out. I've said a lot already about Kenny and how disgraceful it is that he's here, but at this point, I'm thinking whoever cast him just needs to be fired. Whoever it was, they should not have anything to do with casting on this show anymore because they missed so many red flags with this guy. Fees go down, veto competition happens, it comes back, and Tucker has won the veto. So we finally have a repeat competition win. And I know it's weird to say that considering it's only week 3, but there've been a lot of competitions already, and there were 9 different comp winners, and now here's Tucker winning his second competition. In fact, second in a row. No, scratch that. I I forgot the HOH competition that was in between the AI arena and the veto. So yeah, okay, not 2 in a row, but Tucker has won 2 competitions, and he's the first 2-time winner. And at this point, it's looking like Rabina and Leah are the likely options to go up. But a lot is still to come. Chelsea talks to the camera. She says that Leah should go up, and either her or Kenny should leave pending the AI arena. At this point, it's starting to seem like Kenny wants to stay in the game again. He's talking with Cedric about who the replacement nominee should be. Cedric doesn't want to put up someone who could come for him. Kenny mentions that Cam was thinking of volunteering. And it's at this point that I realized that this 3 nominee system is a flop because all it has done is it has encouraged people to volunteer as nominees, and it really kind of takes the wind out of the sails. And it's just making everything less exciting. Like I need someone to shake things up. We'll get to that in a while. Quinn tells Chemo that he expects Brooklyn to push for getting Kenny out, which he thinks is a mistake because they shouldn't keep kicking Angela down the field. Quinn's like, Angela needs to go sooner rather than later. And of course, Quinn is saying this because Angela has betrayed him and ratted him out and doesn't trust him and confronted him. So, you know, that's why Quinn feels that way. Tucker is once again pushing to get Mackenzie's power flushed. And he says that it's not going to be any blood on Cedric's hands if America votes. But of course, Cedric is worried about it being one of his allies that goes up instead, and one of his allies is up on his own HOH. So just to recap where we're at, Chelsea wants Leah out. Brooklyn wants Kenny out. Quinn wants Angela out. Tuck wants Mackenzie or Leah at least nominated. And Cedric just wants to chill. Cedric wanted a nice, easy week. And I'm like, this was not the week to win, buddy. Week 3 is where the game really kicks into gear. Like, this is where the movement starts. Like, the first 2 weeks, they're trying to figure stuff out. Week 3 is where things get decisive. And Cedric has not been decisive at all. Tucker, on the other hand, well, to start, Tucker tells Cam about Quinn's power and says he would use the veto on Angela instead of himself to put Quinn up. I believe I made this joke last time, but bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. I'm pretty sure I made that joke in my last stream. And I'm just thinking Tucker's starting to get a little cocky. Like, he's won 2 competitions 2 days apart. You know, he's really feeling himself right now. And, maybe we should just take it back a notch. Especially since Quinn probably would not be voted out anyway. Cam talks to Cedric. They acknowledge that Kenny really seems to want to stay now. Like, his head's finally in the game. And a lot of people have made this point, and I think they're right. Kenny got a lot more okay with staying in the game when men took power. Like, Cedric is the HOH, Tucker won the veto. Doesn't matter that Cedric nominated him, and Tucker is not going to use the veto on Kenny. But Kenny's like, it's okay, men are in power now, so I'm feeling a lot better. Because you got to remember, Kenny has been on his woman's alliance hunt for a while. He's been on the case. They agree that Angela is the target. Cedric says Rabina, Leah, and Mackenzie are his pawn options. Cedric says that Mackenzie promised to use her power on him if he was nominated, but he does not believe her. As well, he shouldn't, because she promised that to Chelsea as well. Cam says that the smart play is to put up Rabina, and they actually think she should go sooner than later because of all her dealing. Like, they think she's got too much side stuff going on already, and they're looking at her a little funny. And Cam tells Cedric about Quinn's power. And they are not sure that they trust him anymore. In fact, what I even wrote in my notes is they don't trust him anymore. Cedric tells Quinn that his issue with nominating Mackenzie is if Leah has the other power. And Q really misses the lifeboat on this one. He really should have confessed. He just says, I thought Lisa had it. Joseph, T-Core, and Chemo are present for this conversation as well. Joseph says Mackenzie is the move, and it's like, are they actually really going to try to get her power flushed? Is that what we're doing here? I'm like, okay. Uh, there's been some controversy as to why Chemo told Tucker, even though he's closer to T-Core. Why he told Tucker about Quinn's power, and I thought the reason was because Tucker asked him directly, and T-Core seemingly hasn't. But there's a different reason. Chemo has a crush on Tucker. Chemo, all I have to say to you is good luck. Joseph at this point is still a little miffed about Brooklyn being in the collective meeting, and he thinks that Chelsea was the one who brought her in. And he has a conversation with her that really doesn't go well, and he goes on to tell Quinn, I'm done with Chelsea. Quinn suggests that her, Cam, and Cedric work together to bring Brooklyn in. And I'm like, Quinn, you just can't help yourself, can you? Your game is being found out left and right, and you're still making a bigger mess. Cedric tells Tikor that he's changed his mind on putting up Rubina. He wants to work with her more. Joseph joins this conversation, and he again suggests Mackenzie as the renom to flush her power. Cedric, what a surprise, is hesitant because he can't pick the renom. And Joseph pushes for Kenny to be the one to leave. Cedric talks to Mackenzie, tries to steer her into volunteering, but she doesn't. Again, Cedric really seems to think this is the move. Tries to convince her that she can spin not using her power. And tells her Angela is the target with Kenny as the backup. Mackenzie asks if he's thinking about anyone else, and he says Brooklyn or Quinn could work. And she later tells Leah she'll be mad if Cedric puts her up. So, yeah, Mackenzie just does not want to be nominated, as we have seen with her willingness to tell the HOH, hey, so I have this power and you can't use it on me, or else, which is something I forgot to mention about last night's episode. She not so subtly said to Cedric, you can't nominate me because I'll be safe, and maybe I'll be coming for you. Maybe I won't, but I definitely will. Like that was what I got. That was the subtext for sure. So yeah, just the fact that Mackenzie has been using her secret power to get herself out of being nominated for a second week now. It's just like this is her strategy. And I said this in my last stream. What's her strategy going to be when she doesn't have this power anymore? Like, do you think someone will feel like how Angela felt by Matt, like threatened? Will they be like, well, Matt threatened Angela, but Angela still got him out? So Mackenzie kind of threatened a lot of us with her power, but she doesn't have it anymore, so should we even really be afraid of her? And, you know, obviously, Chelsea has basically cemented herself 4 week immunity. At least I'm pretty sure that's the case. And yeah, I'm wondering what her plan is for week 5. And there's a little bit of me that's thinking maybe she'd be the good week 5 move. Just saying. Cedric and Quinn talk. Quinn once again is pushing for Angela to leave. Joseph joins the conversation. They they Cedric and Joseph, they're like, we've really got to figure out who has this other power. Of course, they both already know. And Quinn doesn't bite. Quinn is just determined to never take the hint. He's like, I've told enough people, not realizing that he told probably the two worst people he could have told. I, with the benefit of hindsight, we can now safely say the best move for Quinn was to tell the Pentagon about it and no one else. Like, they have stayed in power since week 2. Like, this is their second week running the game. And Quinn has still not directly told any of them. So, yeah, this wasn't smart on Quinn's part. Quinn and Joseph bond over being super fans. They name drop Taryn because you can't be a super fan if you don't know Taryn. Joseph just kind of casually asks, like, they're having a conversation, super fan conversation, talking about the show. Then Joseph just casually is like, oh, by the way, you have the power? He's just trying to catch him off guard. Quinn swears to God that he doesn't. Of course, he's lying. And I'm thinking, you've got a Julie lecture coming. Like, you've got, like, what Julie did to Aaron in BB15. Swearing to God when you're lying. Like, I'm not even religious, and like when I was a kid, I swore to God once when I was lying, and I've regretted it ever since, and I've never done it since. Like, that just ain't something I want to mess around with. So, yeah. And with how super religious Julie is, and just getting more and more preachy about it. It wouldn't surprise me if she confronts him at his eviction about that. Quinn says that Angela is trying to spread it around that he has the power. And I'm just thinking, credit where it's due to Chemo. He got away with it. Like, he has not been suspected at all. Like, Quinn told two people about his power, and he is not suspecting the one who actually did it, the one who actually outed him. So, in that way, you gotta hand it to Chemo. Angela talks to Kenny. Now Angela starts revealing it a little more. Angela was kind of dancing around before revealing Quinn's power, but now she just outright tells Kenny that Quinn has the power. But she says Lisa had the other. And she still hasn't realized that Lisa couldn't have had it because her and Quinn were in the same group. Cedric does a talk to the camera. He doesn't want to put up Mackenzie, but he feels he has to. He doesn't get why Quinn told Chemo, who told Tucker, who told Cam, but it took until Cam for him to find out that Quinn had the power. So it's just getting worse and worse for Quinn. And it gets worse still. Leah and Mackenzie, they agree. Quinn must have the other power. And I have the hiccups now. Pardon me. Quinn is just going deeper and deeper into this hole because he's getting found out left and right. A lot of people are like, why hasn't Chemo told T-Core yet? And, like, I think we're almost at the point where T-Core is the only person who doesn't know. At least I'm not sure if she knows at this point. I'll have to double check that one. Cedric confirms to Chelsea and Kenny that he's putting Mackenzie up. And of course, she will use her power. At least I'm thinking she will use her power at this point. And Quinn is popular among Twitter as the replacement nominee for lying and not liking someone in the house who's betrayed him. And Twitter hates those things, apparently, all of a sudden. Like, okay. Like, you do realize, right, that Quinn has a very justifiable reason to not like Angela, like, from a gameplay perspective, right? Like, I mean, you should realize this. You shouldn't just be so hyper focused on Angela that it's just like everything involving Angela. Everything Angela does is great, and everything anyone does that's anti Angela is bad. Like, you can't just look at the show through that one lens. Like, there's a lot of show you're missing when you look at things that way. But as it turns out, there may even be a worse kept secret in the house than Quinn's power. Brooklyn and Rabina think that Kenny is a cop. Good call, ladies. Now, this is where things really started to light up. Tucker tells Cedric, Cam, and Kenny that they could take out Quinn this week. Tucker uses the veto not on himself, but Angela. Him or Kenny beat Quinn in the AI arena. Tucker even says he'll try to throw it to Kenny if he can. They will get Quinn out before he can ever use his power. Tucker is confident that they can spin the narrative against Quinn, and they lock in as the ball players. Now, to be fair, I like this plan more than America sabotaging Quinn. But on the other hand, I don't love an all male alliance that includes Kenny. It's like this guy has barely wanted to be here. Now he suddenly wants to play. Like, just not sitting right. And that he wants to play in this way ever since he became so focused on there being a women's alliance. Like that's what's motivating him. Cedric is worried about this plan. He's like, I don't think this will work. But he feels that he has to commit to it because he's so indecisive, he's susceptible to peer pressure, basically. And everyone is just like, oh, yes, we have to let this happen. We have to root for this. Like, yes, chaos, fun feeds, yay. And I'm like, you want chaos? Why stop here? Quinn goes up. Quinn wins the AI arena. Kenny goes, which is what any self respecting fan should want to have happen. Q, sorry, Quinn, again, he's in my phone as Q. Quinn does not win the next HOH, but he hijacks it. Puts up Cedric, Angela, and Tucker in revenge. Huh? How's that for chaos? Like, if we're going to go chaos, then let's go full Independence Day, 15-mile wide spaceships blowing up cities chaos. How about that? How's that? Is that Team Fun Feeds enough for you? Because I keep getting accused of not being Team Fun Feeds just because I'm using my brain. But yeah, you want chaos? There's more. That's what I came up with, and it sounds way more fun, to be honest. So Cedric and Brooklyn talk. Brooklyn, kind of unknowingly, with the way this conversation goes, starts to make Cedric think, maybe I shouldn't put Quinn up. And Cedric talks to Chelsea. If he thinks everyone in the Pentagon is loyal, she's worried about Cam, not Quinn. But she still thinks they should stick together and put up either Mackenzie or Leah. And Chelsea tells him that people think he's with Cam, Tucker, and Kenny. Like they're a group. And they are. So, well spotted, Chelsea. Cam goes up to Leah while she's showering. That that sounds a lot creepier than it was, but I he wasn't like standing over it, peeking down. But he tells her, well, he gives her a warning basically that she's an option as a nominee, and she later tells this to Mackenzie, and word gets back to Cam. But we'll get to that in a while. We'll get to that in a moment, actually. Cam and Cedric start to talk through the Quinn nomination option a little more. Like he's in the Pentagon, he's in the collective. If they go through with this, then they got to bring in the rest of the Pentagon and bring someone in his place. And they're considering Mackenzie, but they're unsure because of her Leah closeness. And Cam says he's done talking to Leah because she ratted out their conversation from earlier. He does not stick with this. He talks to her again not long after. Cedric tells Chelsea that Cam is done with Leah. Cedric says he needs to talk to her after gathering more information. And Chelsea says Leah is a bigger threat than Mackenzie. Angela tells Brooklyn and Chelsea that Lisa had the power. And it lasted for 6 weeks. and it could hijack the HOH. So basically, she's saying that Lisa had Quinn's power, except it lasted for 6 weeks. And at this point, I'm not sure if she's lying to them or if her memory is gone, because neither one seems to make a lot of sense. Like, I just don't understand what Angela's doing. It's like the target is starting to come off of Angela. Like, Tucker is literally about to use the veto on her instead of himself, and she's still ruining her game even further. And it's like, at this point, you got nothing to lose by further burying Quinn. He's already in quite a hole. Why not finish him off? Of course, neither Brooklyn nor Chelsea think that Lisa had the power, because that's how it goes with Angela. Angela tells someone something and they don't believe her. That's how little Angela matters at this point. And there's still people like, Angela's winning this season. Angela's the best player. Like, she can't convince anybody of anything. She has negative social capital. Okay? It's not happening. And she's not even really bringing a whole lot of chaos anymore. Like, she tells one lie a day, and that's about it. This was an interesting one. Brooklyn tells Mackenzie not to use her power if she's nominated, and Brooklyn swears Mackenzie won't get a single vote. And later conversations actually seem to put Mackenzie at ease with the possibility of going up. Cam and Leah talk again, despite what he said. They realize that Quinn has been pitting her against Cedric and making her an option for him. And Leah is justifiably not thrilled at this. And it's like, Quinn really should have maintained the relationship with her. Like, he had one good conversation with her and thought they were locked in for the rest of the game, but he just sort of moved on. He saw that Leah wasn't in a very good spot in the house, so he didn't think there was any point in continuing to talk to her, but, you know, now Quinn's getting his name thrown around as a back door to flush his power, like to just outright take him out. So it's like, maybe Quinn isn't Mr. I'm social with everybody. Cedric asks Joseph, who do you think has the power? Joseph says, probably Quinn, but it doesn't matter to me. And this is another instance, I think, for Cedric of this Quinn bomb not really having the pow that he thinks it will, and he's starting to think this plan isn't going to work. So Cedric and Cam talk again. They agree that Quinn is running the show, but they think they should wait to take the shot and maintain their alliances with him, because they're in both the Pentagon and the Collective with him. And they're even willing to let Quinn use his power, and they're going to expose Tucker and Kenny to him so that Quinn is looking at them, and therefore they're not associated with them anymore because, remember, Chelsea told Cedric, you're being associated with these guys. So Cedric was basically like, well, maybe I can only be associated with one of them by doing this. They still don't trust Leah because of how fast she revealed the information to Mackenzie. But Cedric says he's done with his final two with Quinn, which, by the way, was called Quality Control because QC, Quinn, Cedric, Quality Control. Yeah. Not that it really matters anymore, but that's what it was called. The plan is to tell Tucker to just use the veto on himself. And the official plan is now Mackenzie, who may not even use her own power. So, this is certainly a wild chain of events that's going down. Cedric tells Tucker use a veto on yourself. And Tucker is like, nah, I don't care. I'll still go up. And I'm like, Tucker, you are getting way too brazen now. You won 2 competitions. Yes, you won them fairly handily, but you've also lost competitions, okay? You did not win any of the HOH competitions. You did not win the power. Wait, no, sorry. He was playing to not get downgraded, and he didn't even have the best time in that. Yeah, he played in the same one as Cam, and Cam had the best time. So I'm just thinking, Tucker, you're getting too brazen here, and as my first round draft pick, I kind of have a vested interest in you not turning into Izzy and just being so much chaos that it just implodes. It just collapses in on itself. Because, like, at this point, Tucker is putting himself in a position where some people might be like, well, he didn't use the veto on himself. Now I kind of want to take him out. So I just feel like Tucker isn't being very mindful of that. He's so confident he has everybody. Or at least he has enough people that he wouldn't get voted out even if he does lose the arena. And I'm just thinking, Tucker, you better win the arena. Or you're gone. I, no one, I've said this before, I did a 3-way draft. Me, my dad, my brother, we each picked 5 people. Kenny got left out, so it would just be so nice for all of us if Kenny still leaves this week. Cedric also tells Kenny that the target is starting to switch to him. So, something else to be mindful of. Cedric tells the Pentagon minus Cam that Tucker is going to use the veto on Angela. Mackenzie's going to go up. Sorry, I got hiccups again. Okay. Mackenzie's going to go up. Then Cam joins, and this is where Cedric reveals Tucker's whole plan to get Quinn out. Chelsea says Kenny or Tucker has to go. See what I mean? Now, Tucker's name is in people's mouths. He was doing so good. But the problem is, Tucker started to believe he was doing so good that nothing could ever happen to him. But he single handedly put his own name in Chelsea's mouth. Brooklyn tells Kenny's wife to get the food truck ready. And Quinn says, oh, he's a cop. I clocked that in about 20 seconds, which was kind of funny. Rabina tells Tucker he should use the veto on himself, but he's not listening. And we are getting into Marcellus territory now. And I'm just wondering if on Thursday night, Julie's going to lean in and smack Tucker in the back of the head with her cards. And Tucker tells Cam that Cedric told him to use the veto on himself, but he said, F that. Tucker was like, oh, F that, yo. I don't need to use it. I'm fine, bro. I want to compete. I'm not going anywhere. I'm like, Tucker, you're just playing a little too fast and loose. And then the feeds went down for the veto meeting. I can't believe I got all this done in under 40 minutes. Can't believe I went through all that in 40 minutes. All right. It's time to check social media and find out what has happened. Did Tucker come around and use the veto on himself? Did he use it on Angela? Did Mackenzie go up? Did Mackenzie not use her power if she did go up? Do we have answers to any of these questions yet? A house meeting? There's a house meeting going on right now. Oh my god. Uh, oh my god. This is unexpected. BB updates. Come on, please be updating right now. Please be updating right now. Oh, what do you want? Notification? No, I have a new follower. Nice. Okay, but what's going down? Tucker tells Quinn, I think you are a great effing player. I want to get the tough stuff out of the way first. Quinn, I don't think great players get called out like this. Oh boy. Um, I gotta see. Hold on. I think I might actually have to. The live feed's on. Come on, where are the live feeds? Live feeds. All right, Quinn saying I can't be mad right now. Like, is he nominated? What's Tucker talking about? Tucker's confronting Mackenzie for lying to him worse than what Quinn did. I still can't tell exactly what's happening. All right, this is okay. Not really getting much from watching the feeds. Tucker says Quinn is very good at this game. In my mind, you want to coast through it. Get the tough stuff out of the way first. No disrespect as a person. Tucker says, I'll go out like a gentleman if I go out this week, but I'm going to bust my A. Tucker said, I knew we had it. We had a whole game plan. Mackenzie says, mine isn't even that powerful. Tucker says, I know. I'm confused. Like, I don't know who's nominated yet. So, I mean, I don't know who is and isn't nominated is the bigger thing here. All right. Okay. I'm I'm still trying to figure out like my one viewer. If you know what is going on right now, please let me know because I'm lost and I'm just kind of sitting here babbling like an idiot, not knowing what's happening. I'm trying to figure it out, but it's it's awkward. Oh, okay. Quinn says I lied to everyone saying I didn't have a power. Leah says if I had it, I wouldn't have told anyone. And fair point. He shouldn't have told anyone. Tucker says to Mackenzie, Cedric was like, "You don't have the numbers." I said, "If we don't have the numbers, I'll go home. I'm trying to make this game start. It has been boring AF." I'm like, making the game exciting at the cost of your own place in it is not really smart. I mean, Tucker is plenty entertaining. He doesn't need to jeopardize his place in the game. Oh, let me check the hashtag. Let me see if I can get more out of this. Tucker used the veto on Angela. Cedric nominated Mackenzie. Mackenzie used her power. All right. Well, there you have it. Tucker has committed step one of becoming the new Marcellus. And if he leaves this week, then he will officially be the new Marcellus. And America is going to get to decide on who the third nominee is going to be. I know BB Twitter wants Quinn, but we'll see. We'll see if that happens. The casuals still have to weigh in. We have to decide. We have to figure out who they don't like. I mean, they don't like Angela, but she's nominated. So I mean, the veto has been used on her, so I don't think she can be nominated again. I think BB Twitter would nominate Kenny if he was an option. I genuinely believe that. But it's just like those are the big two, and they're not even options now. So this really like the casuals might be kind of split, and BB Twitter might actually be able to run this thing. I still think there's a chance that it's just going to be somebody who hasn't been shown a lot on the episodes. Like I hate to say it, but I'm a little worried about T-Core. Like she has not been shown at all, and the casuals when they start voting, they're just gonna be like, I haven't seen her. I'll just vote for her. Or Cam, we haven't seen him much on the episodes. He's really laying low. Joseph, I feel like he's been shown just enough, but at the same time, there's a decent portion of like Joseph is the second most popular name after Quinn. Me personally, I'm voting for Leah. I'm voting for Leah because I want to see the look on Mackenzie's face if Leah goes up. I know I'm probably going to stand alone, but that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. And to my one viewer watching, I hope you agree with me, and I hope you can convince some people to make this funny. Who says I'm not Team Fun Feeds? I'm Team Fun Live Episode. Those tend to be awkward. Could you imagine how hilarious it'd be if Mackenzie uses her power only for her closest ally remaining to get put up in her place? It'd be gold. But the thing I was worried about before, with me preferring Quinn to get in trouble through his own bad gameplay rather than America screwing him, I was worried about that, and now if Quinn is the pick, then there's a chance that'll happen anyway. But I want to see this power used. It's too good a power. We can't let it go to waste. Oh, and apparently Angela is shocked that the veto was used on her. Quinn tells Chelsea and Leah what his power is, and Chelsea's like, "That's a way better power than Mackenzie's." Like, yeah, that's why I want to see it used. Mackenzie's lame. Mackenzie says that they might put up Quinn now that she's used her power. Mackenzie says it's going to be Quinn or somebody random. It's probably going to be Quinn. I don't think it should be because I don't like America ruining somebody's game because they find them annoying. Especially when the reasons Quinn is considered annoying is because he doesn't like Angela, because he's strategizing and against her, and because he's told a couple of lies. It's Big Brother. If you can't handle lying, go watch something else. So I'm okay with the other players getting someone out over pettiness. I don't like America getting someone out over pettiness. Ah, Corey from last season saying Tucker being evicted this week would be the biggest unforced error in Big Brother history. Barring those ejected, and despite his good social and physical game, he might be the worst player of all time. I mean, this is definitely Marcellus 2.0 if he goes. So, please, Tucker, don't leave. Not yet. You make the credit where it's due. Tucker has made this week a lot more exciting, but I don't want it to mean the end of him. And I'm not just saying that because he was my first round draft pick. Okay, that'll do it for this stream. Thank you for watching. You can follow me on Twitter at NickGrimesYT. I have links to my Twitch channel and my YouTube channel there. I upload all my streams to YouTube, so you can watch them there. And and you can get my thoughts on Big Brother stuff as it happens. So yeah, that'll do it for me. I will see you next time. Peace out.